Good morning. We're going to look at how to find an inverse function right now. So there's a few steps in this. Sometimes you would call it 2 steps, sometimes 4 steps, just depending. But the first thing that you would probably do, and I'm going to do each step in a different color. So the first one we'll do in this hot pink color here, is to replace f of x with y. So I'm going to make it y equals, and then this right here, and I'm just going to recopy. Okay, so that's step one. The next step, which I'll do in this green color, is to replace the variables. So in other words, let's back up to the pink step. I took f of x and replaced it with y, because they're the same thing. In the next round, I'm going to replace all the y's with x's and all the x's with y's. Plus 7, like that. Like that right there. And so that would be what I would call step 2. Step 3 would be to solve this thing for y. Okay? So I'm going to rewrite this equation here. X equals y minus 3 squared plus 7. And then I'm going to solve this thing for y. Okay, let's make a note. Solve for y. Make it say y equals everything else. All right, so we're going to subtract 7 from both sides. Just try to whittle it down here. So on the left side, I'm going to have x minus 7 equals, and the 7 will be gone over here, so I'll just have, in parentheses, y minus 3 squared. And I have to get y by itself. Y by itself. The next logical thing to do would be to try to get rid of this exponent of 2 here. That exponent of 2 right there, a lot of people will think, well, maybe I should just go ahead and FOIL this. And if you do, it can still be done, but you're going to be in for a more difficult and longer problem. The slickest way to do this is to square root both sides. So if we take the square root of x minus 7 here and the square root of y minus 3 squared, like that. Over here on the right side, what's going to happen is you're just going to have y minus 3. So that square root and the square in parentheses will kind of neutralize each other. It will cancel each other, and you'll just have y minus 3 to the first power. On the left side, you're going to have plus or minus the square root of x minus 7. Okay? And within one step, we can solve this problem. And that last step is to add 3. So to get rid of the 3. So we add 3 over here. Now watch. This is how this is done here. Here's the y. And over here, this is going to be 3 plus or minus the square root of x minus 7. You wouldn't really ever write this plus or minus radical x minus 7 plus 3. It's usually in this format here. And then the last thing we're going to do, just to kind of tidy this back up, is, I'll do this in like an orange color, is to write it without the y. So I'm going to write equals 3 plus or minus x minus 7, like that, in parentheses. And then I want to put the notation that's the inverse notation, this f to the negative 1 of x. That's the inverse notation. So this right here would be the inverse of this one. That one. Those two things are inverses. If you graph these, which I'm not going to do, I'm going to do it actually in class here, but if you were to graph these like on a TI-84, you will say that these would be symmetrical to the line y equals x. And I invite you to try that. To graph both of these and then graph the line y equals x on there, and you will see that they're symmetrical and reflected around that line. All right, so each step is in a different color. And you can see that and practice it. And tomorrow I'll show you how to check these algebraically. Have a good one.